Hi there, and welcome to this week's broadcast. I am super excited to share over the next several weeks short interviews with some of my students. Now, these are students who joined my mini course from Doodles to Dollars, and then they came into my signature program, the Pattern Design Academy. And I think you're going to be very inspired to hear about what they were doing before they learned about surface design and what they're doing a very short time after coming into my hashtag Anne's Universe. I also wanted to let you know that registration is open for my free mini course from Doodles to Dollars. All you need to do is go to members.artwithanne.com/doodles to sign up. I hope to see you there. Without further ado, let's jump in to this week's interview. Who are you?
I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. I started out going to a professional interior design school in Washington, D.C., a very international school, and became adept at doing watercolor renderings for designers. Wow. So before I even graduated from school, I was hired as a rendering artist for the premier furniture store in Washington, D.C., and provided full-scale watercolor renderings of homes before they existed. I did beautiful renderings, and that was a lot of fun. And then I got married and moved to northern Japan. The Oshi-e that I learned from a sensei was what pivoted. I mean, I've used this art form for 50 years now.
And so, Wendy, how did you first discover it when you were in Japan?
I was in a bank, and my husband was doing business with the bankers, and I was in the lobby, and I looked up on the wall, and there was this magnificent kabuki dancer in full brocade and everything. And I said, oh my God, whatever this is, I have to learn it. And the gal that was my husband's secretary on base, who native speaker, lived in the town, found the woman who made that and talked her into teaching me. Now, she spoke Skoshi English, and I spoke Skoshi Japanese, which means nothing. And I learned by pantomime. She would do something, I would copy it. She would rip it out of my hand, rip it apart, smack my hand, which she loved, and then make me do it again. I got so good because I hated that she kept hitting me. And apparently this was very typical of the old style apprentice system.
Teaching.
And to learn Oshi-e, the old style, you would be an apprentice for maybe 10 or 15 years before you were allowed to hang the shingle and say you were a sensei.
A sensei,
and I now teach how to do it in 2 to 3 hours. Online teaching community has skyrocketed. And the idea that I'm talking to people in Sweden and in the US and in Paris and in Hawaii and everywhere else, it's just amazing.
So show us what contemporary Oshi-e actually is so that people can, it's always, a picture is always worth 1,000 words.
All right, here we go.
Yep, perfect. Right there is perfect.
All right, I'm so good at reverse stuff. This is contemporary Oshi-e. This is actually one of the projects in the course. And it's a landscape. And if you can see the texture of the fabric, this was originally one piece of like mat board, backing board. It's acid free. The design was drawn on it. Then I cut the pieces apart. I put padding on this piece and this piece and
yeah, so it's very three-dimensional, right, Wendy? It's very three-dimensional, which is hard to see. But then you also have like a couple of stars that look like they also are I don't know what those are, but
crystals.
They're little crystals. Yeah, they're little crystals. Yeah. So it's very beautiful and three-dimensional.
And there's a lot about doing Oshi-e that I've discovered, but I know I haven't tapped the limit yet. I know I haven't. I'm really hoping I infect my students with all the possibilities, and that then each student, particularly like the students here in your course that are making fabric,
Yes.
they can create fabric specifically for their own Oshi-e pieces. That's certainly why I took your course, is because I want to create skies, starry skies, sunset, sunrise, clouds, piece of
Right.
crops, fields in the crops, and all that kind of stuff. And you can't find that stuff anywhere. Gee, do you have any plowed fields? And do you have a butterfly wing? So being able to do that inside Adobe Illustrator, thanks to you,
Now you can make your own
is
fabrics.
exactly, and scale to the piece that you want to make. So the hope is that I'll soon have, maybe by the fall, a collection of fabric that you can use in the actual course, so that like I can create dragonfly imagery and so on, so that you can use that, which would be fun.